In terms of business development and growth, we are seeing some signals that the tough days for the past few years are over. Our four economic pillars, agriculture, forestry, oil and gas, and tourism, are showing some signs of improvement. For our farmers, last year was difficult, and we all know the county declared an agricultural disaster, opening the doors for government aid to help offset the tough financial implications for many farm families. The county has championed the red meat industry by hosting information seminars. Last year, the county completed more than 14,000 weed inspections and removed over 232 beaver dams, threatening fields, roads, and bridge footings. The county continues to assist in the development of watershed groups across the region. The West County Watershed Group and Bear Lake Watershed Society were formed. In the Beaver Lodge River watershed, 50,000 seedlings were planted on 100 acres of riparian land. Work continues on eliminating the mountain pine beetle. And our thanks go out to Minister Knight from the Provincial Forest Resource Improvement Grant of $1.6 million to remove more than 118,000 pine trees infested with the beetle on over 2,200 acres in the Dunes, Wappi Nordic Trails, and Evergreen Park. And we just received another grant of over $580,000 to continue the battle into next year. As a result of this initiative, we've reduced the fire risk in these areas and created work for many local contractors. Weyerhaeuser's major investment in a new turbine generator for their pulp mill shows promise in the forestry sector. Across Alberta, the oil and gas industry has gained momentum. And of course, as I mentioned earlier in my talk, investment in the Dinosaur Museum and parks and other recreational facilities throughout our region support and encourage tourism. My comments earlier about the strong partnerships being the key to our success really speaks to what we've done with our intermunicipal development plan. Both the county and the city have entered into a partnership to guide growth and development in the area for the next 30 to 50 years. And something both councils can be very proud of. The intermunicipal development plan paves the way for cooperation and coordination on key areas such as land use, environmental policy, transportation, recreation, roads, sewer, and water. At the same time, it creates a foundation for economic growth. Working together, we are mapping out a future for this region that looks well into the future of our grandchildren's generation. For example, it paves the way for annexing more than 6,000 hectares of land from the county of Grande Prairie to the city to provide space for the growth over the next 30 years. Looking even further out, 50 years down the road, the plan allows the city to annex another 13,390 hectares of county land for future industrial and residential growth. In 2010, we continued to build our county as a regional hub for northern Alberta. Our efforts in this area benefit everyone: our resource industries, local businesses, the service sector, and housing. This past January, the county hosted the second annual Economic Development Conference, Growing the North. And thanks to our partners, the Grande Prairie District Chamber of Commerce, Northwest Corridor Development Corporation, Northern Alberta Development Council, Farm Credit Canada, the City of Grande Prairie, it was an outstanding success. As a result, we plan to host another conference again next February. For our county to be successful, we need to create an environment that encourages business growth. Part of that success means understanding the needs of the different businesses currently operating in the county. Last summer, we did a survey to find out what services best support our businesses currently operating in the county. This year, in Phase 2, we plan to take the survey findings and work with our business community to develop actions that assess and enhance our competitive region. Our local MP, Chris Workington, deserves our thanks for assisting us in obtaining a grant from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Green Fund. The grant will guide us in developing Claremont Heights, 2 sections of land adjacent to the north shore of Claremont Lake and on the east side of the Highway 2, into a sustainable community. Our goal is a mixed-use community with a residential development, open space, recreation, and tourism, as well as a commercial and light industrial area. Input received from recent public meetings tells us the mandate is to build a community with a focus on improving quality of life for residents, in addition to increasing access to basic services. Plans are also underway to continue development of our rural estate communities such as Taylor Estates and Westlake Village. Just recently, we announced plans to administer and deliver safety standards and inspection services. It's our belief we can provide an enhanced level of service. 2 people have been hired to conduct inspections, ensuring compliance with the safety codes in areas such as sewage disposal, gas and plumbing, building, and electrical inspections. Whenever possible, we need to look at new improved business initiatives that not only create jobs but diversify our economy, but have a positive impact on our environment as well. On that note, the county was proud to be one of the partners in hosting last weekend's Earth Day activities. We are working with the West County Regional Waste Authority and the City of Grande Prairie to complete a regional waste study. The outcomes expected in a review is to review alternative waste diversion and reduction programs, as well as ideas for energy from the waste alternative initiatives. Over the past few years, we have built a solid waste transfer station in the county that residents can easily access. Teepee Creek, Demet, Claremont, and last year we opened a new transfer station in Elmworth. On June 16th, we will have open houses and roundups planned at all of our waste management centers to celebrate the official opening of Elmworth's transfer station. I encourage you to bring your families and drop by. In the area of waste management, Recycle Plus and the City of Grande Prairie, the County of Grande Prairie, and Aquaterra looked at the current recycling programs to understand the area's current practices and identify potential opportunities for reducing waste. As we all know, water as a resource issue is a major concern in our county. This past year, Council voted to support the county as an active participant in the Peace Region Water Supply Task Force. Water well levels seem to be declining in the county, which means we need a long-term solution to support our agriculture, commercial, and rural development. It's our goal to lobby for allocating water distribution rights from sources such as the Peace River. Both wastewater treatment and water supply programs have occurred in recent years or are underway, and the Claremont Force Main and lift station upgrade address overcapacity issues in the main lift station and sewer force main. A Building Canada Fund grant provided the necessary dollars to carry out this project. The same national fund provided dollars for the West Aqua Water Line, a project to supply homes with water to maintain quality and additional long-term water supplies. An Alberta Wastewater Partnership provided the funding for upgrading the Claremont Pump House to ensure the Claremont area has sufficient water for the long term. And just recently, we completed a report that looks at the planning and location of a new pump house. The partnership initiative also provides funds for the Bezanson Lagoon aeration system, an alternative energy solar operation system that increases wastewater storage capacity at a reasonable cost. Through the New Deal for Cities and Communities Fund, the Teepee Creek Water Study reviewed and groundwater and potential of the water systems for Teepee. It also looked at the area's future water requirements. The County of Grande Prairie has hired an engineering firm to review the different water service concepts in the east part of the county, and at the conclusion of the review, we plan to host an open house to present different funding options for addressing water service needs and collect all the input from the county residents. From my talk today, you can see there's a lot of good things happening in the County of Grande Prairie, but it continues. We are proud to be one of the first rural municipalities to provide high-speed internet services to our residents. Over the past 2 years, 227 towers were installed that allow more than 2,000 homes to access high-speed internet service. We have implemented WebMap, an interactive online mapping tool that lets you obtain maps of the entire county for different purposes: air photos, county boundaries, and parks. Now, I've talked today about a lot of positive developments happening in the county and in the past year, continuing on from 2011 to 12. But before I conclude my talk, I want to reflect for a moment on what makes all these positives a reality. If I had to point to one thing that is key to our success, I'd have to say it's the people. all of us in this room and elsewhere in the County of Grande Prairie who have created a community, a place that we all call home, where we want to raise our families and put down our roots for the long term. Yes, we have significant challenges over the last few years as the world economy, agriculture, and resource sectors have all suffered setbacks. But what's amazing throughout all these challenges is the way our community has come together. Everyone from our volunteers, small businesses, farmers, large resource industries, county employees, and elected politicians at the local, provincial, and national levels. You all deserve to be recognized and your contributions acknowledged. As the Reeve for the County of Grande Prairie, I'm proud to stand up here today and say we are a great community, and it all starts with the people. Thank you very much.